Hello, hello. Is everything going well? Testing, audio input capture, audio input capture. All right. Audio input capture, audio input capture. All right. So, okay. All right, guys. So, here we are. I tried few things over here. I am now going live in vertical canvas as well. So, let me share this link. All right, I think my screen is not visible. Uh, Let me just screen share this. If I do this, you'll see this. Okay, I think we are good. Okay, so where were we? Yeah, and we were here as well, crates.io and sysinfo that we found out yesterday. Before any attempt to information. So we have command is network assistant. Okay. So yeah. So what we figured out yesterday is we kind of created this thing where once a user type process, it will check for process, and we printed basic information using this. So in the command dot new method, we'll do ps, and we checked it. कोई नहीं, save cargo run, and if I write process, I'll see the process over here. So these are the process, and it is exactly same as if I type ps. So these are the processes if I type ps command, and the same thing I have added over here like command new ps. So uh, it will show me the thing. Now if I use the sysinfo crate, it will be lot more easy for us to, already available methods like refresh all, total memory, used memory, total swap, used swap, something like that. We would not be configuring this much over here if we go by standard process struct of standard library. So we'll take help of sysinfo to make our work easier, and what we'll do is we'll identify which processes are consuming maximum of the disk space or memory, and we'll figure out if any of the running processes is from the blocked set of processes. So we'll do that. So in the meantime, if you guys are new on the channel, feel free to explore this and subscribe to this channel, like this stream, and let's hang out. So mm, so let's go by this. And how do we add this crate? We'll say cargo add sysinfo. Acha, it already being logged. Okay. Hello, Ramesh. What's up? So, if we have used this thing, maybe we could have a documentation over here. Let's go. So we'll use macOS part. So it says we can have this thing, display all disk information. Hello, Simplace. How you doing? Please remember that to have some up-to-date information, you need to learn refresh method. Hmm, refreshing CPU usage. So so let's have few points over here. So the first point is check all the processes. Second is identify if the process is from the blocked set that we already have, blocked set of processes. So we will already have this set. Third, identify which processes are consuming most CPU. Fourth is block or unblock processes. So first of all, let's go with this thing. Check all processes. So let's do this thing, check all process. So if we go by this crate, uh, we will have this thing, this sys dot processes, and we will have a process and a PID. Okay, so we have to first of all new auto ensure list that list all of CPUs and processes are failed. Okay, so we'll start with this. We'll refresh all because we want, if we refresh this thing, we will have the exact information about the processes that are running if we refresh this thing, right? So this way, once we do refresh all, this sys in info crate will fetch the processes running. So that's how it is. I think it is the necessary step to refresh all whenever we start this thing. How long you have been learning Rust, brother? Long time, 5 6 months maybe, or maybe even more. I was not, I mean, when I started, I was not directly very consistent in all. Then I like try to move my APIs that's written in Node.js as a side project. So by this I was consistent, and like 5 6 months in between I left, and like, so because I was working on something else. But I thought that if I would like I want to learn Rust, then I have to be consistent, and I thought going live could be just a motivation. So that's why. So yeah, around 5 6 months I've been learning Rust, and trust me, it's like day one. Hello. What's your take on future of Rust? Rust has future which every programming language has. It will also vanish someday, but it's not like reach there, so it will have a decent future, good future. I don't know if the bubble burst in like in the near future, but yeah, it is going to be good. Okay, so system new all. So let's do this. Let's not do this. Remove this thing and remove this thing. So it says let mute sys. What is this? System dot new all. So sysinfo has systems. Sysinfo new creates a new instance with nothing loaded. New all instance with everything loaded. Okay. Uh, it has this thing like for, is it a tuple? Yes. PID process and sys dot process returns the process corresponding to the given PID. So we will try by no no no. So we will try by using refresh all and without using refresh all to check what refresh all does. So we'll have a PID and a process. So yes, it is. So currently we are not using refresh all. So let's see if what it does. Okay, so it has given us this thing. We have all the processes over here. So if we can just take one thing like this. No, yeah. So we can have this thing CPU usage, actual memory usage, current working directory, memory usage. So as you can see the difference between this crate and the process struct of standard library, that is uh, by doing this sys dot processes we have this much info, but if we go by the rust process struct, then we'll have to enter command. We have to know the command to do so on the command type, and to pass an argument we'll use the dot args method and all. So as you can see, this way we'll have the information of also it is returning this thing. First we update all information, so let's do this as well. After doing this we'll update the cannot mutate. Now we have to make it mutable. Now let's see. Okay, so I have all these process running. Now let's figure out the second thing. Check all the process, identify the process if it's from, if it is from the blocked set of processes. So how can we do that? We have to maintain a set where we will have all the processes, but how do we name them? I have no idea what is the nomenclature and all. Let's see how it goes. We have a PID, parent, name. We have this name over here, right? Screen sharing subscriber. This is the process. Font D, another process. com.apple.restra, biome agent, and also we will have name as well over here. But HTTPD, what's in the name? Rust is cool and verboser people prefer go for server side application. Yes, correct, correct. Like maximum problem with Rust, that is like that is this, it's very verbose. Absolutely correct. So I mean, if you like, you have to think about it. I mean, go with both of them, take a simple task, try to implement with both of them, Rust and Go, and then choose. I mean, are there any enterprise or I mean, you should have heard in like most of the newsletters and all. There are many that are switching to Rust. I don't have any names as per se in my mind right now, but there are many. Some of them are going just because there is a, that's what I say, bubble kind of thing, and other ones are so the events that are happening are almost lying towards the Rust side. A few months back, or I don't know, last year, there was a bug that cost Microsoft like huge amount, and that was due to a simple null exception and all. So there was a immediate response from the Rust community that, hey, see this doesn't happen in Rust. So things like these events also like make people align towards Rust. But again, it's just like any other programming language. It will also be doomed one day. Are arrays in Rust objects just like in Java? I have no idea. And JavaScript also considered arrays as object if you check the type. But vectors, I don't think so. Let me just see. Good question, I think, by the way. I'm not sure if question is valid or not. Arrays. I mean, there is no such thing as object, not object. Yes, because in the arrays are not object, instead they are fixed size. Uh, hmm. Yes. Unlike other language like Java and C++, the length of array, meaning that array of signature tree is different from the array with the signature I 32. There is can be manipulated access through various methods. They do not have methods or properties in the way objects do in object-oriented language. Correct. So, let me just show. I am not sure if let's check primitives and objects. Programming language like JavaScript and Java primitives are basic data types that are not composed. Example including integer, exponent, contrast objects are complex data types. Change. Yes. We can't store the length of array, but in Rust we get length method like. So see what it says is uh there was a point I just noted. The type of array is noted by special. Okay. So it says though array can be manipulated and accessed through various methods, they do not have methods or properties in the way objects do. In object, they are more akin to low level data structure. However, Rust does provide a way to work with arrays, such as using the length method to get the length of array and indexing to act. So, in summary, arrays in Rust are not objects in object oriented sense, but are instead fixed size data structure with specific type information. So it says that Rust does provide a ways to work with arrays, such as using the length that you said. So if it's a fixed size data structure, it should be on um, stack, array on stack or heap. I think on stack. Oh no, I think on heap maybe. Oh, arrays are stored on stacks because array have fixed size, which is no, yes, yes, okay. Allowing them to allocate directly on the stack. On the other hand, vectors are the one that are on this heap because they are dynamic. The entire array is allocated on the stack, which means the okay. Where were we? Identify the process if it's from the block set. Okay, we will have to have the block set of process that will create it later by searching from Google. Third thing we can do, identify which process are consuming most CPU. So let's see if we should have a threshold of CPU. We will configure it. Let's say 80%, 90%, 70%. But we need to check the total memory. Mhm. We'll have to which one the CPUs network interface name total address CPU usage. So let's do this. Okay, so it will please remember that you have to some up to date information. Yes, we will need to call equivalent refresh method. Okay, for example, for the CPU usage, we have to call this refresh CPU usage that is equivalent to this method refresh all. Sleeping to let time for the system to run for long enough to have useful information. Uses multiple threads. However, this can increase the memory usage on some platform. macOS, for example, disabled by settling disable feature calls in cargo, which disable the multi-threaded cargo feature. You don't want all the information. Yes, this is the thing. In that case, it is recommended to use refresh specifics method with only what you need to have. Another issue frequently encountered, unless you know what you are doing, that we don't know in our case, it's almost all the time better to instantiate the System struct once. Okay. Yes, we did that. So we need to do that in this thing, right? We have to have something over here, and on the new we will instantiate it only once. The reason is because the lot of information needs a previous measure to be computed. CPU is might try to implement it to test it, because in C++ we can't store. Okay, but in Rust we get length method like it's straight object. Might try to implement it to test it. Good to know. See ya, bro. Okay, buddy. Bye bye. Take care. Using binaries running inside macOS. Hmm. 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 System name, system dot kernel version, OS version, hostname. We don't need this. Don't need this. Process dot name and process dot disk usage. Okay. So we'll say PID process dot name process dot CPU usage. We can do this. So we have PID name and CPU usage. So this way we'll not have all these information over here. So PID, this is the process name and the CPU usage. So as you can see, uh, we have this CPU usage value over here. Now we can check. It's 0%, I think, right? So 0.0. There is nothing that is taking up CPU. Maybe we should go for this. Disk usage. Read bytes. Total written bytes. All right. All right. Hmm. So we'll have a CPU usage Postgres with this, and this is this. Hmm. So if we were consuming the most CPU, block or unblock processes. So let's figure out if there are any functions. Hmm. Network, CPU, refreshing the CPU usage, sleeping to let time for the system to run for long enough to have useful information. So it says that macOS, for example, which can increase, in which memory usage can increase. For that, we have to disabling by setting this in cargo.toml file. Mhm. Functions. Get current PID returns the PID of current process. Signal. What's this? Structs component CPU contains all the method of the CPU struct. disk disk usage, disk CPU. Okay, sorry. CPU's system. Okay, so let's check few things. So in this, what we can do here is CPU usage. Let's check, is it CPU usage percentage. Okay, if I do only this, what's this thing? We have our CPU usage. Is it? Refresh kind, nothing with CPU. Refresh kind, everything. We wait a bit because CPU usage is based on diff. Wait, that thing. It says system new with specifics. What it does? The specifics. It at least twice. Diff between the first and second is how CPU usage is computed. Okay, so there is a difference between this refresh and this refresh. So in between this, we have to refresh it twice, once here, and this difference will tell us the CPU usage. At first, you want to have non-zero value. What is the CPU name? CPU vendor ID. So we have few features over here: brand, vendor ID, frequency, name, and yeah, this thing. Mm, what it says: creates a new instance and refresh the data. So instead of new, we'll say new. So there are three things, I guess, right? New all, and new specific. The new will only without with nothing loaded. It creates a system with nothing loaded. New all will initiate a instance with everything loaded. And with the specifics is we can define specific things that has to be loaded using new. So it says refresh kind nothing, with process refresh kind everything. So we'll say with CPU, with CPU. Okay, new with specific. So it takes refresh kind nothing, refresh kind nothing, and we'll use with CPU refresh kind everything. Okay, now there is this thing that says thread dot sleep. Wait a bit, because CPU usage is based on difference. So we'll sleep the thread for minimum CPU update interval. There is already a this value over here. So we'll say sleep for minimum CPU update interval. Right. Now we can say s dot refresh CPU all. Now we can loop in this thing. All right, guys, how are you all? Refresh all. Now we'll do for c n s dot CPUs. And we can use CPU usage with percentage. Just need to understand one thing. What is the difference between this thing? Hello, hello. All right, people. So I can have only this CPU usage. So we have a difference, and there is a minimum time update interval. What's its value? It's 200 milliseconds, 2 seconds. So the thread slept for 2 seconds and then again refreshed, and that's how he calculated what is the percentage of CPU used. Just one more thing. C dot name as well. So we'll have this PID and all. Let me just run this again. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Hello everyone. If you are watching this, let me know from where you are watching. And are you a student? Are you a working professional? Or are you just like saw this stream on YouTube and you just joined? So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we have 45%, 50%. This. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. What are these things? Are these okay? So it's the CPU usage, but are these are not processes, right? These are the processes. So if I do only this and this and this, so these, but can we just initiate a process that will consume our like most of the CPU? Maybe what if we want to run a loop that runs for quite some time and keeps on adding values so that we can have a difference between in context of using the sysinfo create in Rust, the CPU usage method is to retrieve the CPU usage of a process. However, the exact behavior and usage might differ based on the context. For a process, a CPU usage method typically returns a CPU usage of that specific values. On the other hand, when calling CPU usage on CPU instance, it returns a CPU usage of that particular CPU core. That's what I was uh, thinking. So these are the cores, right? And these cores have these specific CPU usage. But this right over here on these above thing, I just commented it out. Maybe let me just scroll. So So let me just do this. Mm, if I go here, process. So these are the CPU usage of that processes, and these are the CPU uses of these cores, like CPU cores. Okay. Uh, ठीक है. So we don't want the usage of CPU cores. We want the usage of the processes because we need to check on the process who are using much of the CPUs. Now, how we can test this? So, how to test processes CPU usage in Rust using this info. Great. So, one thing that I'm thinking is to maybe write a loop that will add up the values, taking the previous value as sum, right? It will accumulate a sum into a variable and then keeps on adding to it. Will that work? Let's see what this thing. I'm not sure if I'm thinking right. So CPU usage, no, that's fine. Process.cpu usage. We don't want to print it. We want to test it. We want to create a process. Create a process that will use much of CPU usage in Rust. 100%. Let's build a CPU benchmarking tool. So guys, if you're watching this, please leave a like or come on chat. Let's learn things. And yep. Also, please let me know if the stream is going. Hello, Mandeep. How did you style your name like this? Mandeep Singh. That's good. What font is this? Did you copy it in the name field from somewhere? So guys, I tested out this thing. I'm testing this vertical canvas thing on OBS. Let me just show you. If you can see over here, this thing. So please let me know if you can watch this vertical stream as well on maybe the live that come on the mobile when you like scroll the shorts, then you see some people going live. So let me know if you are able to see this as well. Okay. Why does Rust analyze the user? How to get CPU usage? Okay, it says how to get CPU usage in Rust. I tried out sysinfo, but I encountered a problem. It was very glitchy and gave CPU usage which wasn't accurate. What exactly is glitchy and inaccurate? I ran some code inside WS instance and gave even weirder result. It was stuck at this. I added the percentage symbol at the percentage statement and I got this. That's what we are getting, I guess. Like this. Like this. So what? I would say my CPU 1 and 2 would be 100%. 3, 4, 5, 6 would be 0. Then when I'd move my cursor, it's wild show. 1, 2, 3 to be 30% or something. So can we do something like if we kind of make something that it will continuously run, and as soon as I do something it sends me live updates of the CPU usage. Can we do that? Make sure to understand the period over which the usage is averaged. Second one is CPU usage. Can we reply over here? No, because I am banned. Because I posted my YouTube channel in it. But I could give the answer to this thing that yes, you can use sysinfo crate to get the CPU usage. Anyways, mm, okay, plan finally refresh all hostname and all. So we want something. Okay, so for multi-core processor, we rely on the standard library. The blocks representing the server indicative cargo. So this says I have 8 cores and every core is 100%. This is testing, but we don't want that. The fan spins up and it looks like the job would run for years using the release flag. It looks like this. It took less than 8 seconds to complete. Mm, no, no, no. We don't want this thing. So it is using this CPU intensive task, right? Maybe calculating factorials or one more thing that is quite CPU intensive. I don't even remember this thing. We call it Fibonacci series, I think, right? That is very like CPU intensive. If we gave a bigger number, is it? Mm, okay. To achieve our goal, we get some dummy calculation. Instead of this, like giving it 100% and all, what we can do, we can simply add up a number and all. And let's see how it goes if it's adding up the CPU code somewhere. So currently I have 2 cores that are on 40, 3 on 40 and something like this. And I can create a process over here that will eat up some of the CPU. Mm, add one loop. Okay, it created a function that gave 20 and it says 5 times it is turning the loop. Yeah, we can do this. Let's see how it shows. Mm. So if I write it over here, first of all, it will go ahead and do this. Maybe on a separate thing, we can do that. As soon as we run, and we have to run this. And let's write it over here. Let's create a function. Uh, um, let's create a factorial function over here. So guys, I have a problem over here. My CPU is going down because there is a problem with electricity. So I think I might have to end the stream. It's like running fast. So let's see how it goes. If it's turned off, then all right, I think I have to use my laptop now. Let's bring this thing here. Okay, you're able to see this, right? Are you able to see this? Hmm, 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 hmm. Hmm. But how can I see the chats and all? If I do this. Anyways, so let's go here. So we have created this thing. Let me know guys if you are able to see this. Maybe I can do this thing. So please let me know if you are able to see what I'm doing. Uh, so I think we should write our own function. Let's remove this thing. Maybe a simple addition on the loop could be fine. Mm, maybe multiplication. Yeah. Okay. It will not return anything. It will just keeps on adding. So we can say and self, and it will take. All right, we are back. Electricity is back. So let me connect this thing over here. Okay, we are here. Uh, now you must be seeing this, right? You can see this. Are you able to see this or not? Mm, okay, I think yes. Now in the new window, I will open YouTube Studio. Okay, guys. So if you are liking this stream, feel free to hang out on chat and leave a like as well. Okay. Uh, so it says this no method name factorial. Okay, no problem. So we remove that thing. We'll implement a simple function that will uh, take a bound, and based on this bound it will so and it will it keeps on like doing this for what the heck. Mm, it will go from I to bound, right? Now so we can do after refresh all, we'll call application and we'll set bound to 500. We have this thing. Thread main panicked. Attempt to multiply with overflow. Environment variable to display. Multiple impulse satisfying the core. Type must be known. Of course. Use bending No, isn't initialized. No, used here, but it isn't initialized. What's this? People accumulating. That's what I did. No. So I mean, this is the thing, and we are doing this thing. Heh, heh, heh. 15 minutes more. Can we do something like, no? Hmm. This is the infinite loop for n. I mean 1 to 1 1 if okay, so if I don't do this and simply say 500, that is different thing. It says variable now is assigned to never used. Why this is not used? We can do this while, but I think, but why is this not working? I'm defining a number and I am keeping it mutable and I'm just multiplying it to whatever the index is. Yes, guys, can you please follow up? What's wrong with this? Though I have defined a variable here, it's not like it's saying it is not used, though it is assigned but not used. Why is that? Is it something because Hmm, let me just check one thing. If I say while num is less than 500 n plus equals num plus equals 1. Now that works. So I think I would not have. What was the issue? It says thread main panicked. Attempt to multiply with overflow. अच्छा, although तो इसमें जैसे the it could be the case that I is not known, right? We have num as integer. The I Find having this. We cannot do that. It is unsigned. So if I do 5, I think it is the overflow because if I use 500 here, then it overflows from the range. So if I do 5, it maybe we can find a process over here that has some CPU usage file voucher. No, let's do 5 to 100. I just don't get this, that variable num is assigned to but never used. Maybe I could print. Now this is assigned. Guys, come on, leave a like here. At least say on the chat the stream is shitty. PID just CPU usage. Okay, so that's why it was like doing overflow, because after this the value will be out of range, right? So after that the value will be out of range. But how this guy was able to pull out this benchmarking tool that it created? It used this simple. I was thinking it too, but now let's say mm, what it says. It is using U128, and for loops it is Then this. So factorial. It's calling a factorial with factorial of 20. Add one loop. Now maybe we can do this thing. Let's not print this. It will be ugly. Mm, Panicked. What in the name? Maybe we could find anything that is consuming the CPU. Brave browser helper. Is it also that if I'm doing this, maybe I should attach it to a process? It could be, right? We have to attach it with a process. That's how we will see it. So I think we are getting there. We are getting our hands dirty with this processes and all. So one thing that we like kind of figured out today that sysinfo create is providing like methods that we can take help of to implement our functionality. So I was trying to create a method that will add up that will take some time so that I can check its process CPU used process, but I think I have to attach it to a process, right? This is what I'm thinking, and I'm not sure if I'm right or wrong, but what I'm thinking is I cannot do like this. It should be attached to a process, and if that process runs, then If that process, let's read this article how it does. At the end of this, we want to be able to execute a script that measures CPU performance. So finally, after a long introduction, we can move on to something. After some similar calculating factors the CPU intense task, we can this use this as a center. So find how many records and ठीक है. अब how is doing? It is doing like this, name and all, CPU length. Now for multiple processing, we rely on the standard library. The block is wrapped in the processor, which is another indicator. Okay. So this is how it's doing this thing. It is creating the progress bar. Test the script. If I do this, the release flag. The if we run the script without a simplification, looks like this. The fan spins up. This is this. Looks 8, 11, this. We got our system information, runtime progress bar, and interpretable benchmark. However, we do not measure. Maybe we should have this secondary create interpret matrix multiplication, which would have made us all logos automatically posted. How was it to that song? The whole project okay. So I think this is it. We need to figure out block and block process on second thing. So we were able to check all the processes. We have to, it's a raw form, right? It's a testing thing that is going on here, the functions that we need and all, something like that. It's not a code, it's just a rough over here. We'll write this thing, properly create a function, properly error handle those and all. It's just rough work that we were testing about this crate, that what all functions are there, how we can run the processes, how we can check the CPU usage and all, how we can try to create a function or a process that is CPU intensive, and later we can check that out, right? I'm not sure, this is not showing up. Maybe we should like use standard libraries process struct to create a process and then attach this thing to it, or maybe create a script, run a separate script for this, create a process. Maybe there were commands, right? Process command and all, where we can attach call this function from, and that could run in a separate process, and then we can know this CPU usage, because currently this is not working. The multiplication is working, but I am not able to identify this as a separate process. So we'll look into it. Yeah. This is not what we need to use, but I'm just, scratching the back of my head that how to do that. So we need to see this block and block process, if there is such thing called block and block process, or maybe identify the process that are from the blocked set and maybe terminate those processes, or maybe in future we can block those processes. As soon as that process starts to run, we can identify that and block it. So these two, this is the thing that we can depend on Google, because we don't have any idea what are the what are the processes that are blocked, right? Maybe some processes that use mining, some dump the data and all. So we need to figure out what are these. We'll copy paste and we'll create a maybe a hash map with these values, or maybe store it in a vector, their names, and we will iterate it on the vector, and later map the processes name with this names on the vector. So it's fairly simple. So I think we'll are going to use this sysinfo crate, and yeah, we will use this sysinfo crate, and we'll start by all these things one by one tomorrow. Okay, so we are going to use this. sysinfo. Great. All right. So that's it for today. I hope you guys have like watched something, and please let me know what else could be done to make this stream more interactive, because I can see I don't have, I have viewers though. I'm not sure if the stat is correct. I can always constantly see that there are at least 7 to 8 or 10 maybe concurrent viewers, but they were just watching. I mean, so it is the stream where we all learn together. So I really appreciate if you guys ask questions so that I can also learn. And thank you everyone, whoever commented, TechOps, Ramesh Khatri, Simplace. Thank you very much. And see you later, guys. Bye bye. Let me push this code. No, I don't want to push this code. It's all like uh, it's not up to the mark. We will implement it these features one by one, and then we'll push. So, but the previous code is already on the GitHub. The link is in my one of the post in YouTube. Please check that out. Feel free to explore it, improve it, and raise an issue. Maybe ask question next time if you have gone through the repo. We will look into it and we'll learn together, grow together. Thank you very much. Bye bye. See you later, guys. And yes, good night. Bye bye.